Hello, my name is Peter and welcome to the Race Department Grand Prix Championship. We're here for round 3 at the Lausitzring. First oval round in this series. We're going to visit 2, of course. Indianapolis will be the second one. And Lausitzring here, 2 miles long, so we're going to complete 300 miles of racing here over the 150 laps. And I won't be alone though for the majority of this race. Alongside me will be Lorenzo Bonda. Would you like to say hello, Lorenzo?
Que paso, everyone?
Hello, Lorenzo. So, for those of you who are not aware, the way the format works here is that we will be completing 4 laps. Each driver will get 4 laps. That's 1 out lap, 2 flying laps, and 1 in lap for qualifying here. And we've got Christian Moreau, who is on pole position at the moment, provisionally. Now, he's actually a new racer. He's not raced in this series before, though he has entered here. The Races in Pajamas team, and he's looking for a good result here. He's ahead of Ryan Seltzer, who's currently 5th in the championship there with 63 points, just 1 point behind Stuart Vandersloot, who is here, but he's not yet set a lap time. 3rd position is Tom Watts, who got the win last time out at Road America, so he's going to be looking to repeat that here and move up. Incidentally, the top 3 are very close in championship points, with Charles Batcher on 89, 82 to Dan Long with 2 second places for him, so he's very consistent and one to watch for being consistent here. And Tom Watts in 3rd position also with 82, so it's something that we're going to have to watch here tonight, Lorenzo. And with qualifying, I mean, Christian Moreau, we're only 2.5 minutes into it, has already completed it. Many other drivers have also already completed their 4 laps, so it's going to be difficult for these drivers to get a hot lap in, especially with the difficulty of this circuit.
Yeah, the circuit is really difficult because of 2 reasons. Number one, it's sort of an understeer track. And also this is a tri-oval, so it's not the other ovals that normally people do. If you want to see like a tri-oval example, see Pocono in NASCAR. But the difficulty here is not even the track itself, is specifically one turn. It's turn 3. Turn 3, oddly, it is a bank curve, but for some reason, reasons unknown, I really would like to know, this turn is not banked, and people are having trouble, and they have discussed this. They're gonna have to somewhat lift off the gas and do the turn itself and avoid danger, and especially during racing, that could be the main point of accidents and yellow flags. So I've seen Matt Legale doing this on Qualify, so I wouldn't be surprised if this also happens in race, and if this happens in race, this might mean race over for you.
Yeah, I mean, that is the thing about ovals, is that one mistake and you are pretty much out, regardless of where you crash. I mean, being on the inside, getting extremely lucky with oversteer, you may be able to catch it, but if you come into contact with another driver and hit the wall, or if you understeer wide and hit the wall, or you catch the dirty air and hit the wall, or catch a bump, there is a big bump outside of turn 1, exit of turn 1, which could catch all drivers out at one point in the race. You know, these kind of things could all catch drivers out. So 150 laps of a 35-second circuit may not sound like a great deal, but in reality, it's quite a long way when you consider the difficulty of this circuit. Now, looking at the order at the moment, Christian Moreau, as we said, still provisionally on pole position, but only 9 thousandths ahead of Tobias Rona, who is currently high in the championship order. In fact, he is, looking at my sheet, he is... Where's he gone? Where's Tobias Rona gone? There he is, 19th in fact.
19th. I was going to say 19th, so I would have guessed right.
Yes, he is 19th, so looking for a better result here, definitely. Only attended the 1 round so far, didn't attend the first round. Dan Long is 3rd position, so only 56 thousandths off the current pole position man. Mike Davis is 4th, he's another new driver. In fact, he's Christian Moreau's teammate in the Races in Pajamas team, so those 2 drivers and that team having their first event here in the ovals, and get off pretty well with 1st and 4th, you have to say. 5th is Ryan Seltzer, who, as previously mentioned, is 5th in the championship. He's currently 5th in the order at the moment, and we've got 5 drivers within a tenth of a second here, Lorenzo. So not only is this circuit going to be difficult and the rate of attrition probably going to be quite high given the ease of making a mistake, but it's also going to be very close.
Yeah, and one other thing to note is that, as you well mentioned, the pace over here of the drivers is really close because they're not going to be able to full approach their car speed over here on turn 3, and it's going to be really close. They're going to have to let off the gas, but race control is already telling them that if they do something, any kind of move on turn 3, they're going to have to do very safely and avoid accidents because of the lack of banking on that turn. So they're going to have to do very well in this track and avoid as much incidents as possible. And incidents over here on lap 1 in the first 10 laps, maybe 20 laps, maybe it's possible, and it could be a reality.
Yeah, I mean, turn 3, as we previously mentioned, not very banked, and Joseph Wright, who is currently in 9th position in the order, just under 2 tenths down, so that just shows you how close it is. He was commenting earlier, I was talking to him, and he said turn 3 is definitely the trickiest, and almost no overtaking will be done there because it's so flat, but so turn 1's about one of the only places you can make a move, so it's also going to be a case that if you are making a move into turn 1, you're going to have to be close out the final corner. So not only is it the most difficult, it's also the most important in terms of making passes. So we've still got a few drivers on circuit who have just over 2 minutes to go in the session. John Nelson's currently on his out lap. Darrell Russell on a flying lap, just coming towards the final corner, and he's going to complete that first lap. We'll see where that puts him back. Let's see where he can go. He goes up to 10th place, 4 tenths down on the quickest, so still time to find. Also on a lap is Jamie Brooks, who appears to be coming through turn number 2 there onto the back straight, and John Nelson also starting a lap time, but notice 2 drivers, Tom Lamberts and Joey van der Sloot, haven't been able to set times here, so that's going to be something they're going to be frustrated about, and Jamie Brooks isn't going to be able to set a lap time either, pulling out at the last minute. John Nelson coming through the final corner to complete the lap.
And risky because he clipped the curb over there on the inside of turn 3, and I've seen through testing, I was testing in the server with the guys and really quickly just to get a feel for the car. The curb on turn 3 is basically a possibility of you going off track and die because it's really slippery, and if you accelerate on the exit, and the possibility of something going wrong, it's really high.
Yeah, and John Nelson probably quite lucky there. We're counting his chances there, and maybe that's one of his 9 chances gone, 9 lives gone. Finishes up in 6th place overall, so that is actually all drivers complete here. Jamie Brooks heading out again, but I don't think that will count for a lap time because it's going to tick over when he starts the lap. So I believe that is everyone completed the lap. Mike Davis's laps have reset, but I don't think that will affect him either. So it's going to be Christian Moreau who's going to this race from pole position, this rolling start that we will have for this oval, of course. Bryce Rona will start alongside him. Dan Long and Mike Davis will be 3rd and 4th. Ryan Seltzer, John Nelson, Tom Watts, Matt Beavis, Charles Baccio, and Joseph Wright will be our top 10. And we're going to have to see what happens in the race here, Lorenzo.
Yeah, race will be a mixture of very interesting to very tense. As said, the 21st laps, they're going to be very dangerous, and I believe a yellow flag will come out. And one thing to explain, it's that yellow flags over here, they're going to be a different procedure than the normal other events that we were doing in the racing, like the 2 road races. This one is actually going to be automated by the game itself, especially the rolling start. There will be a rolling start done by the game, so And also there might be a possibility of a test start, so the drivers get a feel for the track itself, and then another real start. So it's being discussed. So let's see. It's gonna be a very good race, but I think it's gonna be also really
Hello
really
everyone
close
to
race.
round 3 of the RDGPC. Just a few things to say. The pit exit is after the cones before turn 2.
So we will see you
And,
for the race there. We've got 4 minutes of warm up, and
just
then we'll be back with
stay
you
cool,
as
don't
soon as the race
overtake.
starts.
Into turn 3 if possible. And
Hello and welcome back to the third round of the RDGPC here at the Lausitzring. We're currently on the formation lap for this 150 lap, 300 mile race around this technical tri-oval German circuit. We've got Christian Moreau on pole position, of course. He set the fastest lap in qualifying by 9 thousandths from Tobias Rohner. Row 2 is Dan Long and Mike Davis. Row 3 is Ryan Seltzer and John Nelson. Row 4 is Tom Watts, Matt Beavis. Charles Baccio, Joseph Wright. 6, Darrell Russell, Matt Legale. Row 6, Eta Sintes and Campbell Wallace. Row 8, Eiley Ferry and Steve Legale. Row 9, Tom Lamberts and Sherwin van der Sloot. And on row number 10 is Jamie Brooks. So we're getting ready for the start here. They're being brought round by the pace car, and when green flag is raised in the air, we will be racing for 150, hopefully clean laps around the Lausitzring. Lorenzo, are you excited?
I am excited, but I am tense.
So, getting ready to go green here. Slightly nervous, slightly tense for the drivers here as we come round towards the end. The pace car's pulling in now, and this will signal the start of the race. Christian Moreau slightly in front of Tobias Rohner as they all bunch up into the final corner, and the green flag raises and they are away, and Dan Long gets a great start from the outside. Tobias Rohner and Mike Davis getting bogged down slightly there as they go across the line. They've all got a clean start by the looks of things as they go around into turn number 1. It is Dan Long that leads. It's in front of Christian Moreau as they exit turn number 1. Further back is Tobias Rohner. He's got Mike Davis all in the back. Looks the inside for turn number 2, and it looks like this time everyone has made a clean start, Lorenzo.
everyone had a clean car, just including viewers. We had a practice start, and half of the field got taken out on turn 1, so the warning has been done, has been sent out. Avoid issues on turn 1, and let's see how clean it's going to be on the first laps. As I said, first 20 laps are going to be the most tense.
Yeah, and of course we're going to have 3 pit stops in this race. The tyres can last for quite a while, but the fuel, of course, is limited to around 70 miles, 80 miles. So we're going to see pit stops after 35 laps, and already we've got a breakaway at the front between Dan Long and our pole sitter Christian Moreau. Further back, Mike Davis has moved up to 3rd place. He's 8 tenths ahead of Ryan Seltzer, who's coming alongside Tobias Rona as they come into the final corner. This is not where you want to be going side by side. Matt Beavis to the inside there, the low line, and going to keep that 7th position. In fact, he's lost that to Joseph Wright, who now makes a move up the inside as they go on to lap number 3. Tobias on the outside, going to lose a position to Matt Beavis. And this first couple of laps are going to be probably the most intense of the race, I should think, Lorenzo. And this close, I mean, we've got 4 or 5 drivers here separated by 2 tenths of a second, and that is really the joy of IndyCar.
Close contact between Tom Watts and Tobias Rona. Tom just nearly lost the rear of his car on turn 2. Basically threw Tobias Rona into the outside of the track and made Tobias Rona lose at least 6 positions. Instead, very hectic start of the race, but I'm impressed. It's so clean that it's clean thus far. Let's hope it keeps that way.
Yeah, we want to see drivers making it to the end, and rather than hoping it's not just going to turn into a race of attrition. But one battle that is on track is the battle between Mike Davis and Ryan Seltzer. Very close to the circuit at the moment, but just a few tenths separating them. Further back, Joseph Wright has got Matt Legale of LG Motorsport, the 2 Legale brothers in the same team as Legale. I thought he got sideways, but it was just a little bit of lag on my end. And he is currently in 7th position, but Tobias Rona dropped down to 12th position here from his starting position of 2nd on grid. So really not a great start for Tobias.
And not a great start for Tobias, but Tobias is the oval specialist. Basically, he loves ovals. And we have a battle in P3, P4. We got Ryan Seltzer and Matt Beavis once again, and Mike Davis is a little bit in front of them, but Ryan Seltzer managed to keep clean on turn 3, and Matt had to let go of the gas. Lost around 3 tenths of a second on Ryan Seltzer. Ryan Seltzer going wide on turn 1, nearly going into
turn 1. Yeah, we've got a car in the wall. It's Tom Lombard. Went through the first corner alongside, I believe, Ali Ferry, and I believe he just couldn't turn the car, and that's him out of the running at the front. He's got no front wing, so he's going to have to come into the pit lane. We've already got a driver lap down. We've also got John Nelson going past Jamie Brooks for 17th position. So while a few drivers getting caught up in incidents, we've got a really clean start at the front as Dan Long still continues to lead from Christian Moreau.
And
3rd, 4th and 5th are slightly spread out. Joseph Wright, right in the back of Matt Beavis as they go through turn number 2. In fact, he's alongside Matt Beavis as they go around towards the final corner. Of course, this is a corner very difficult, as mentioned previously, so Joseph sensibly lifting off the gas. And Matt Legale now in the slipstream and looking probably to try and make a move into turn 1, Lorenzo.
Yeah, and now Ali Ferry and also had a touch on turn 1. They're both having a lot of troubles now. They are on the apron. We have more touches with the drivers and the track itself. But there are probably minor touches as Ali and Darrow approach the pit box, and let's see how it's going to go down.
And we have a yellow flag.
flag.
So we managed to complete 6 laps.
That's Matt Beavis. Matt Beavis and Ryan Seltzer lost it by their own on turn 2.
So 2 of the front runners not having the best events. Is Ryan Seltzer gone over the fence as well?
Yeah, and Ryan's trying to find a way in and just can't, not being able to.
And Matt Beavis has had to call it a day, I'm afraid. Matt Beavis, one of the front runners at the start, not able to continue this race. Is Ryan Seltzer going to be able to find a way through the wall? As we are now under yellow flag conditions, so the Corvette safety car will be leading them round here, and we've still got a number of drivers on the lead lap. I wonder if those drivers not on the lead lap will be able to return a lap. Lorenzo, you probably know better than me what the rule book is. Are drivers allowed back to overtake again, or do they have to stay in formation? Looks like Lorenzo has gone race control to see what's going on, but it's all settled down here with 7 laps complete. Onto lap number 8 now. Dan Long is our leader from Christian Moreau and Mike Davis. Matt Legale is in 4th. Tom Watts 5th. Charles Baccio, our championship leader, not really spoken about yet, is in 6th position. So he's made a good start. Tobias Rona back up to 7th from a slow start. Van der Sloot is in 9th, up to 8th in fact, as Joseph Wright pits. We've also got a number of other drivers pitting: Jamie Brooks, Ali Ferry, Darrell Russell, John Nelson, and those are the 5 in the pit lane at the moment. So it looks as though they're going to make a very early pit stop here in order to change tyres, top up with fuel, and perhaps go a bit longer than everyone else. But this will, of course, help the drivers with conserving fuel. Of course, when they're lapping at 60-70 kilometers an hour, it's a lot easier to save fuel. So this will be something the drivers will be able to put into their strategy and perhaps do one stop less. So we're going to have to see how that plays out. But at the moment, we're holding stations here, having a little bit of a breather behind the safety car, and we'd expect the safety car to be in a lap or two's time. Not sure how long the safety car will be out for. There's no lights on it, so it's difficult to tell. But at the moment, running as they were with Dan Long, our leader, from 3rd position on the grid, got a great start past Christian Moreau into turn 1. Now runs 2nd. Mike Davis 3rd. Matt Legale is up to 4th position for LG Motorsport. Currently running 11th position in the championship behind his brother Steve Legale. So 4th position here will do his championship chances no end of goods. And I believe we have Lorenzo back in the booth with us. Lorenzo?
Yeah, I was just explaining to Ryan. Now Ryan is back on the track. That whoever leaves the track, he can actually rejoin. There's a little glitch on turn 1. That there is a rejoin part of the track, which is probably mixed up with the road. And I found this, believe it or not, through live testing, that you can actually rejoin the track. So your race is not completely over. It's going to be somewhat damaged because you're going to have to repair your cars and everything. But it's still doable, and they're lost by themselves. And let's see, Ryan probably is having internet issues, and let's see if he's going to be able to continue.
Yeah, I noticed Ali Ferry having troubles in the pit lane, but going back to Ryan Seltzer, it's good that he's been able to rejoin the race. Currently circulating without a front wing. I believe he's going to come into the pit lane now. He is indeed currently 17th of the runners. Tom Lombards, who had the incident earlier, has been able to rejoin, as well as John Nelson continues to be serviced in the road. Now gets out on circuit. So with 10 laps complete, Lorenzo, we've seen our first caution, but overall, apart from a little incident before the caution, we've seen some good racing and some really good battles, in fact.
Yeah, really good battles. They're driving very safely. Apparently, it wasn't a crash or anything of the sort that caused this error between Matt and Ryan. Ryan is already on the pits. Matt had the car stalled and he couldn't rejoin, and unfortunately, that's race over for Matt Beavis. But it's been very clean thus far. It was human error. Probably the cars lost their rear end, but by the looks of the replay, and lost their rear end on turn 2 and just gone. But so far so good. Let's see how the rest of the race goes.
Yeah, so 18 runners still. We've got 12 on the lead lap. Joseph Wright, the last of them, who had to pit, who pitted as well, as did Jamie Brooks, Steve Legale, and also Darrell Russell, Ali Ferry, John Nelson. Ryan Seltzer continues to be serviced in the pit lane. Lombards has rejoined, so those drivers are going to be the one to watch to do perhaps a jump up the order when the rest of the drivers pit, which may be the case, Lorenzo, because of course when you're running around at 200 miles per hour, you're going a lot quicker than when people are running around at 60 kilometers an hour in the pit lane. So doing a stop now would, although only 10 laps into the race, you'd think it'd be a advantageous thing to do for those drivers.
Yeah, it could be advantageous. It remains to be seen. But let's hope fast happens and they can continue on. As said, they can rejoin the track at any given point, and it's just a matter of see if they can actually carry on with the race and be very lucky with it. So it's a long race. Also, it's 150 laps. It's 300 miles, so they can go.
Yeah, and although a lap time is 30 seconds, and it's only 3 corners a lap, it may not seem like a lot, but when you're 2 tenths behind the driver in front, even 1/10 going 200 miles per hour, we have a lot of pressure on the drivers. So now coming through turn number 2 here, behind the safety car, and Lorenzo, we'd expect to be going green sometime soon. Do you have any idea for race control how long the safety car period will be lasting, or is it an indeterminate amount? Looks like Lorenzo has left broadcasting booth to go and have a look at now go and have a chat with race control, as Ryan Seltzer looking to move up. No, he's not going to be able to. Ryan Seltzer and Tom Lombard, who fight 2 laps down, aren't going to be able to get a lap back up behind the safety car. Be disappointing for them, considering they are 2 laps down already. Matt Beavis, very unfortunate for him. I mean, down to it looks like he just lost the rear end very close to Ryan Seltzer, and that's what sent him in the wall, and it's in fact what sent them both in the wall. So it's very unlucky for Matt Beavis, and stalling, of course, and not being able to restart these cars is a very big disadvantage. But going green, I should think, very soon as we circulate and continue to circulate. And Lorenzo, are you back with us?
Mm-hmm. Just having a little word with race control.
Right, have they got any word on when we'll be restarting, or is
race will be restarted shortly, probably if not on this lap, on the next one.
Okay, so we're definitely going to be getting going soon. Did they give us any more information on So it looks like the safety car will be coming in very shortly. Davey, our expert cameraman, informing us that looks like the safety car will be entering the pit lane this time round. So it looks like we're very close to going green here. Dan Long once again going to be wanting to repeat his starting procedure of the last start, where he managed to get round by Stroner and then up into the lead ahead of Christian Moreau. And the pace car is in, so it's now up to Dan Long, and when the green flag is raised as to when we go, we're going to have another 140 laps, and it's the green flag, and Dan Long gets a great start off the jump. He leads by a few tenths already, as Christian Moreau is now under threat from Mike Davis, who has really brought himself up the field. Matt Legale also in there as well as he goes through turn 1, Lorenzo.
Yeah, very, very good start by Dan Long, and also another good start by Mike Davies trying to overtake Christian Moreau, but I think they're not going to do any kind of movements. Tom Watts goes in the inside on turn 2, overtakes, Mike crash. There's a crash between Mike Davies and Christian Moreau. That's a teammate, and who knows, let's see if there's going to be any kind of danger.
Yeah, Christian Moreau looks unharmed from that, surprisingly, but Tom Watts is a big mover and shaker in this first lap on the restart. He started his restart in 5th position. He's now up into 2nd position as Christian Moreau drops down to 4th position. Matt Legale on the inside of Tom Watts, going to be on the slower line though, as Christian Moreau managed to drive around the outside of him, which is very impressive by Moreau. So if he does have any damage, it's not affecting him for the moment. And we've got Mike Davis in the pit lane, so suspension damage it looks like, but
and
Dan
probably rear wing as well. No rear wing, but most suspension damage is going to be quite some time in the pits.
Yeah, it's going to take quite a while to repair, and unlike under the safety car, the drivers will be lapping at 35 seconds rather than a minute and a half. So it's going to take a while, and he's going to go quite a few laps down, I should think, Mike Davis. So real shame for the Races and Pajamas team, but Dan Long 2 seconds already, and we've only been restarting for 2.5 laps to Angel.
Yeah, and that's probably going to be the pace of the race, but thus far has been okay thus far. Let's see if they're going to be able to carry up with this pace. By the way, there's an update to Matt Beavis. He actually left the auto clutch off again. Same problem he had on the last race. Not last race, but on the Barber race, where he actually stalled his car. But it's human things that happen. Matt knows that he made the error. He wasn't the one blamed, but it's at least he had the maturity to grow up and keep going. Let's see how the rest of the field is going to cope with the rest of the track. Still a long race to go. It's at least 10%.
And we've got another full course yellow here. Ryan Seltzer once again in the wars. I believe he came out the final corner and spun into the inside barrier, having more issues in turn 1 as the safety car in action once again. Dan Long is going to pick up that safety car. Tom Watts 2nd position, Christian Moreau 3rd, Matt Legele 4th, Schoen van der Sloot is in 5th position, Sigvist Tobias Rona and Campbell Wallace and a number of other drivers slowing down very slowly there.
And they got they were caught by surprise by the pace car.
Yeah, which is very surprising considering that the safety car was called and looked and would be on track for them. So really need to be more cautious, I'd say, there, because there were a number of drivers there. I believe it was Charles Batcho almost going into the back of Matt Legale and Christian Moreau at the start there. So drivers really need to be careful here as we're under our 2nd full course yellow of the day. And I've just heard word from and Ryan Seltzer wants more spinning, so Seltzer once again struggling to get back to pit lane. Joseph Wright in 11th position at the moment. You did say he was only 2 tenths down the leader, but that's just corrected itself in our timing and scoring. But at the moment, Dan Long is our leader as Jamie Brooks still circulating. Says he is in the lead for me. Sure that is not correct. So it is Dan Long who is still leading, though unless Jamie Brooks has come out and ahead of everyone else and I'll jump them all. But it is Dan Long who is our race leader on track at the moment from Tom Watts and Christian Moreau. And Tom Watts, he got the win in the last round, Lorenzo, so really is on top form to take another win here tonight at the Lausitzring.
Yeah, Tom Watts has been really good. He's been very consistent the whole championship. He's probably gonna take the lead here on the championship, but it remains to be seen. Let's see if Tom's gonna be able to cope with the pace and avoid errors on this track. It's very easy to do errors on this track, as you guys already seen it. Word up race control. The race will go under yellow for this lap. Next lap is gonna have the pace car out, so we're gonna have at least only 3 laps of yellow flags.
Okay, so we're going to be going back to green shortly, but Dan Long is another driver who's very much been a top driver in this series so far. 2 second places, been very consistent. He might have not been the fastest driver at the 2 opening rounds, but he's certainly been the most consistent and led for the first portion at Road America when I last broadcasted 2 weeks ago. So Dan Long, another driver to watch, Lorenzo. 2nd place at Barber, 2nd place at Road America, looking to go one better here at the Lausitzring.
Yeah, and basically they're driving for sister teams because MK and SKM is basically the sister team of this MK, so they're gonna have to deal at least with Christian Moreau, Van Legale, and the Talking Door boys because they know how to drive. So There are rivalries somewhat in this track, and it remains to be seen how is it going to pan out in the end.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. And if we have more yellow flags like this, it might be a very interesting prospect when they come to the point where drivers are able to pit. But Dan Long so far has led every single lap that they have contested. In fact, he's currently down in second position at the moment behind Jamie Brooks, but I don't believe that is correct. So Dan Long currently at the front from Tom Watts and Christian Moreau, who is the new driver who got pole position. So he's going to be one to watch as well. Matt Legale so far has received a 9th and a 15th. 9th position at Barber. A good top 10 finish here, but he looks very strong on the ovals. So would you say the ovals are one of Legale's strong points here, Lorenzo?
Yeah, could be. It could be. You know, British and Guernsey drivers have a good rep on ovals, seen from the Indy World Series last season. The only season we had. But it remained to. Let's see how Matt Legale goes in this. By the way, yellow will go out on the next lap. So
it looks like we're going to get underway again with 20 laps complete, 21 laps complete when they cross the line next time round. But at the moment, drivers, the tyres will be cooling as well, Lorenzo. So that's another thing the driver's going to have to think about here. As a lot of drivers are getting very close on the start-finish straight. I don't like the look of that. A few drivers slowing up and losing track of the driver in front. But tyres are going to be colder as well, so we may see lower laps in the first couple of laps after the caution. And that's going to be that might be something to consider as well. Noticed, in fact, Davey pointed out to me, our cameraman, that Tom Watts is actually on the softer compound tyre, so that could be something to watch here as they go green again. Of course, saw the softer compound tyre being used most at the previous round at Road America. It was Joseph Wright who was the only driver to attempt the one stop on the harder compound tyre, but unable to do so. In fact, he almost ran out of fuel and had to do a whole lap on the pit speed limiter. So we're hoping to not run out of fuel again. He said he got distracted in race control, talking to the guys in race control. But Tom Watts, an interesting strategy there for Lorenzo, and you'd expect those tyres to wear out relatively quickly given their softer compound.
yeah, the softer compound, it takes less time to build up heat, so it's easier to get up to speed easier, and we're gonna green really shortly.
Yeah, the pace car pulling into the pit lane, and this might be then, in that case, Tom Watts' opportunity to go back to go to the front. And we've got a green flag, and Christian Moreau has got a great start around the outside. He goes straight to the lead. Dan Long and Tom Watts.
Matt Legale also having a good sweep.
Yeah, Matt Legale also from fourth position. Looking to the inside of Long. Christian Moreau, it is our current leader from Dan Long. Matt Legale, Tom Watts, Joey Van der Sloot is in fifth position. Tobias Rudd and Charles Bacho. Steve Legale under pressure from Cameron Wallace and John Nelson. Here, and we've got another yellow, and that is Joseph Wright, who is in the wall.
In the back, multiple drivers involved, and this is probably going to be punishable by someone. Someone is going to get it.
Yeah, so another yellow here, third yellow of the evening. We didn't even get one lap there complete before we had to go back under green flag conditions. But Dan Long has got back in front of Christian Moreau, so I didn't see that. I don't know if you saw that, Lorenzo, but he looks like he's been able to get back in front. Matt Legale third, Watts fourth, Joey Van der Sloot fifth position. Our championship leader Charles Bacho sixth, Vice Runner seventh, Steve Legale eighth, Campbell Wallace ninth, and Joseph Wright is in 10th position, but limping back to the pit lane with a very damaged Dallara as he spins into the wall there, trying to get back to the pit lane. So far, 3 cautions in, and we've only just completed 20 laps, Lorenzo. So it's looking like we can have at least 15 cautions here tonight by the looks of things.
And that's what you don't want to have into the start of the race. And looking by the replay, John Nelson was caught by Steve Legale, which actually prompted Darrell Russell to be surprised by the race start, and then the whole confusion on the backfield broke down.
It looks like a few drivers have got very confused on that restart there. Joseph Wright in the pit lane, as you'd expect, getting service a further lap down, I should think. Ryan Seltzer, I've just noticed, has also retired from the race, so we're down to 17 runners here, presumably after not being able to get back on circuit, and then the second incident decided to call it a day. So 17 drivers on the lap, and Dan Long has gone back up to the top of timing and scoring, so it looks like that hit that Jamie Brooks did has put him back into 8th position again. So Dan Long, our race leader, and at the moment seems to be controlling the race fairly well, apart from that slightly sluggish restart last time, Lorenzo.
Yes, and let's see. As sluggish restart, basically drivers are having no patience. They need to be very mindful of. It's just the start of the race. It barely have gone into 10% of the race itself. So we're approaching now the 20% of the race. Barely have gone over 10% of the race, and they're still doing this. So a little bit of an impatience down in the backfield, a little bit of a confusion. And it's a shame, but it's part of the growing, maturing process for drivers. And let's see if something is going to happen.
Yeah, it's very true that this stuff does take a lot of relearning, and these drivers at the front probably going to be the most experienced of the drivers in the field, and therefore not only the quickest but also the most wary. And it seems that that wariness slightly lacking further down the field, or general impatience to get back up the field, as going to look to go back to green racing once again for the third restart of the event. Another thing is the tyre temperatures, as I mentioned in the last caution. Overall, going to be hard to get back up to temperature. Perhaps that's another thing drivers aren't paying attention, is their tyre heat, because of course when they're starting out again onto green flag, the tyres are going to be cold from sitting around doing 1 minute 30 lap times.
Sorry, I was talking to race control. Basically,
It's no problem.
Basically, let's see. The yellow is gonna be cleared on the next time by, so then so we're gonna have race restart really shortly here at Lausitzring. So let's see. The warning has been done to drivers to avoid pushing the car on the first
Guys,
lap.
stay cool on the restart. Don't try to be a hero.
And the warning has been said, and we hope that they do listen, because there's still a lot of race to go.
Yeah, that's very true. 25 laps into the race and still a long way to go, as Darrell Russell now pits from 11th position in the race. Now going to go down to 14th and shouldn't go a lap down, simply will as they restart. And Darrell Russell in fact getting back underway, so deciding to do a last minute pit stop before go back under green racing conditions. But at the front it is Dan Long who is going to lead them here towards the restart. Christian Moreau second, made that position at the restart on Tom Watts, who's fallen back to 4th position. So to get ready for the restart, it's going to be hopefully a cleaner start. Lorenzo, restart number 3. The drivers have been warned. Do you think they're going to listen, or do you think they're going to be heroes again?
I hope they do listen, because otherwise we're not going to say like it's the organizer's fault. So we told you so. Pace car is coming in. Race restart is due to come by, and Dan is already pulling a Jeff Gordon move.
Yeah, trying to pull a dummy there, and they're coming through the final corner now, and the green flag goes, and Matt Legele, great start there, slightly jumped it, and Christian Moreau caught napping 3 and 4 wide as Sherman van der Sloot goes right to the inside. Sherman van der Sloot, Tom Watts, Matt Legelli and Christian
might
Moreau all
not go
side
well.
by side. And Christian Moreau is going to keep that second position. Sherman van der Sloot coming up the inside, very close to Matt Legelli through turn number 1, but regained his composure. And Tom Watts now. Yeah, so the ground lost by Sherman van der Sloot from easing off through turn 1 is now put him back into 4th position, but Tom Watts going wide into turn 2. Showing's going to get back on the inside. Dan Long already with a 7/10 gap as Christian Moreau. Christian Moreau in the pit lane. And Matt Legelli now moves into 2nd. Sherman van der Sloot up to 3rd. Above Tom Watts, 5th Charles Bacho, 6th Tobias Rona. 7th is not Christian Moreau as he pits as well. And in fact, Charles Bacho, I believe, in fact, Steve Legalli's dropped back to 7th position. He was in front of Tobias Rona, so very mixed start. And that pit by Christian Moreau is his first of the evening. Could that be tyres and fuel already?
Could be, could very be tires and fuel. As he hasn't made anything, he's probably going to bring the softs. Let's it's still with the harder compound and it comes out. So probably fuel. I didn't see if he put tires in. So it remains to be seen. He's only going to join the apron after the cones. There he goes. We're going safely into the track.
Yeah, he's going to rejoin after Matt Legalli, who is currently in 2nd position. So Christian there will have Sherman van der Sloot all over the back of him. So he's lost about a lap there to the leaders. Dan Long, though, still our leader, 1.2 seconds ahead of Matt Legalli. 3rd is Sherman van der Sloot. Tom Watts, Charles Bacho and Tobias Rona very close. Tobias well within half a second in the pit straight. I'm told by many of the drivers about half a second that you need in order to make a move into turn 1. And we've got yellows again. Who is that now? And that is a driver off at the final corner. It's Steve Legalli.
Basically, he got stuck on the start-finish line and caused the yellow flag. Basically crashed into the final turn and caused the yellow flag.
Yeah, so yellow's out once more here with 1/5 of the race completed. So once again, drivers able to regain the composure, and now I think we may see drivers making their first pit stop of the race, which would, in my eyes, be logical, Lorenzo.
Yeah, for me it would be logical as well, especially for Dan Long. Tom Watts has been disconnected. I really want to see what's going down with Tom Watts. I'll check it later, but now drivers will have to start adapting their strategies.
Yeah, we've been informed by a number of drivers that it's going to be 35 to 45 laps that the drivers are going to be able to run on fuel and tyres, so perhaps slightly early for pit stops, and we've not actually got any people peeling into pit lane just yet from the front runners, but further back as well, all safe and no drivers at the moment coming into the pit lane. So back behind the safety car for the 4th time, Lorenzo. And in fact, the safety car I don't believe is out on circuit yet. So we should get drivers picking up the safety car around the circuit here. Trying to see where the safety car is, in fact. Can't see this. So Dan Long currently leading the pack around. Matt Legalli 2nd, Sherman van der Sloot 3rd, Charles Bacho 4th, Tobias Rona 5th, Campbell Wallace, Steve Legalli in 7th position. Christian Moreau is 8th after having made that pit stop just before the yellow flag came out, so no doubt going to be a little bit annoyed about that positioning of the yellow flag, but on the circuit in 8th position. 9th is John Nelson, 10th is Arta Sintes, Ali Ferry 11th, peeling into the pit lane. Any more of the front runners? No, so Ali Ferry, the only one by the looks of it peeling into the pit lane. There. 13th is Darrell Russell. Tom Watts currently out, we believe. He's left the race according to our live feed. Joseph Wright is in 15th position, Mike Davis 16th, Tom Lombart's the last of the runners, 3 laps down in 17th. Once again, under caution here for the drivers, and now they have picked up the safety car, so that Corvette is getting a lot of use in this event here so far, and that time I think just driver error caused that. We've said previously that drivers in fact Ali Ferry's just had a stop go, so that was what Ali Ferry was in the pit lane for. Steve Legale in for a pit stop as well in the pit lane. He's the last driver on the lead lap, but surely we'll go a lap down on our leaders. But Dan Long is currently our leader, Matt Legale second, Sherwin van der Sloot third, Charles Baccio fourth, Tobias Verona fifth, sixth is Campbell Wallace, Steve Legale seventh, eighth is Christian Moreau, ninth is John Nelson, 10th is Eta Sintez, Jamie Brooks, Ali Ferry, Russell, Tom Watts has just been into the pit lane. Possibly fuel and tyres, I should think. In fact, he's rejoined the race, so that's very good news for Tom Watts. Disconnected, but rejoined the race, so despite losing connection, he's managed to rejoin. Still on the same set of tyres, so I think he is going to be okay, because those tyres have only been used for 30 laps, so he should be okay for a few more laps. And 10 of those laps have been at lower speeds, so currently trying to catch back up to the leading pack here. Dan Long is our leader, and currently on lap number 33 of 150 here at the Lausitzring. Drive's currently coming through turn number 1. Just on the exit of that turn number 1, there is a huge bump just gone over it there, that tarmac patch is, so that's going to be that drivers have been watching for, and Tom Watson actually going past all the drivers and regain a lap. And we hear the safety car is going to be in this lap, so drivers will be back up to racing speed. Before we know it, Dan Long is our leader. In fact, Darrell Russell's come out in front of Dan Long, so they're going to have to negotiate a lapper there. Matt Legale is second, Sherwin van der Sloot third, Charles Baccio fourth, Tobias Rona started second, is currently fifth, Campbell Wallace sixth. He started quite a way back, so he's doing well to keep his nose out of trouble. Seventh is Ali Ferry, in fact Campbell's teammate, so the two drivers there for Kaibutsu Racing doing very well. That team are currently fourth as we go green once again. Dan Long leads them away, and this time gets a much better start. Sherwin van der Sloot alongside 2 laps cars, Joseph Wright and Christian Moreau. He's going to go 3 wide with the 2 lappers, so that's going to be a bit awkward. Joseph over the curves, but just avoids our leader there as Vice Rona comes through, and we've got so many lap cars now integrated. I'm not even sure who is battling for position and who is not. Looks like a few drivers battling 1 lap down. Christian Moreau, John Nelson, Eta Sintez and Jamie Brooks all 1 lap down, as is Darrell Russell. But Dan Long once again a brilliant start and leads by
we have a crash at turn 3. Crash at turn 3.
And another crash. It's Joey Van Sloot without a rear wing. Hopefully the yellows will not be deployed once again. We're showing Swaits. Oh! And now the front wing has gone as well. So, Lorenzo, did you see what happened there?
He had a contact with, let me see, if I'm not mistaken, it was... He had a contact with another driver, that might be Campbell Wallace, if I'm not mistaken.
And Dan Long in the pit lane, our leader in the pit lane. So...
No, he lost it on his own.
Yeah, so the only one pitting, Matt Legale is the one who's going to gain the lead here for LG Motors. And we've got another yellow flag. And that is because Campbell Wallace has had as has Tom Lombards on the back straight going towards turn 2. So our 4th caution, I believe, now, Lorenzo?
Yeah, more caution, and the track is taking no victims.
So Matt Legale is our leader, showing Van der Sloot in the pit lane after that contact. So he is going to be looking to get that fixed and back on circuit. In fact, I think he's still trying to make his way around to the pit lane. In fact, he may have had a stop go. I don't believe so, but considering how he's missed the pit lane, that may be part of it. Matt Legale, our leader, though. Charles Baccio is a long way behind, actually, on circuit because of the drivers a lap down who are in the middle of them. So Charles Baccio is actually in 2nd, but he is 5th, I believe, in that queue. In fact, he's even further down than that. I believe he's 6th in that queue. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, he's 5 down in that queue. 3rd position is Tobias Rona, who's even further back. Long, who was our race leader, now entering the pit lane once again. Like an unorthodox strategy. 5th is Campbell Wallace, who had contact on the back straight with Tom Lombards. 6th is Steve Legale, who's going very slow on the inside of the circuit. 10th is Christian Moreau, our pole sitter and previous race leader. 8th is Sherwin van der Sloot. 9th is John Nelson. 10th is Ali Ferry. 11th, Eta Sintes. 12th, Jamie Rooks. 13th, Darrell Russell. 14th is Tom Watts, who's now on 2 laps behind. Mike Davis 15th. 16th is Joseph Wright. And Tom Lombard 17th, as we have Campbell Wallace making a pit stop for Kaibutsu. So just as I said, Campbell was doing very, very well in teams that had to make a pit stop. He's still on the lead lap though, so we'll be able to come back as Steve Legale stops and restarts. Not sure why that is. Dan Long also going very slowly. So, not sure what is happening here. Dan Long, 3rd time into the pit lane, in fact, so like deja vu, going into the pit lane 3 times in 3 laps. But Matt Legale is our current leader. Charles Baccio 2nd, Tobias Rona 3rd, Sherwin van der Sloot still circulating without front and rear wing on my camera. Very well to say he's got no front and rear wing. Steve Legale 5th, Campbell Wallace 6th, Dan Long now pits for 7th and rejoins. Christian Moreau 8th, John Nelson 9th, and Ali Ferry rounds out your top 10. Now Darrell Russell in the pit lane. I believe safety car will be coming in this lap or the next lap, at least very soon. So I'm going to prepare for green flag racing once more. We had a good period at the start where we got 7 or 8 laps done, but now 41 laps into this race and we've had 4 cautions. This is going to be our 5th restart, I believe, so been very much a race of fast pace then to very slow speed. Van der Sloot is now getting serviced by his team, hopefully going to repair that damage to his car. I believe he'll go a lap down because of this. Lorenzo, do you have any word from race control?
Lap will be, yellow flag will be cleared on the next lap.
Right, so we're going to have one more lap behind the safety car, is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
Right, so one more lap behind the safety car, and then we will go racing on lap number 42 of this 150 lap race here at the Lausitzring for round 3 of the Race Department GP Championship. One thing to consider, of course, is points are on offer this round. So not the usual 50 that we've seen at the first 2 rounds, but 100 points on offer to the winner. There's also 2 points for most led laps. The driver who's led the most laps. This stage will, I presume, will be Dan Long. Yes, that would be correct. Lead laps to each driver who leads a lap, 1 point to them as well. So maximum of 103 points available to the drivers at this round. Well, Lorenzo, we're currently on the back straight heading towards turn 2. We're going to head to green once again. Do you have any word for the drivers before they go green again? I believe Lorenzo gone back into race control, in fact, so...
Sorry, can you guys hear me?
Oh, yes, we can. Yeah.
Yeah, I muted my microphone by accident. Basically, the warning has been set, like, drive safely and avoid kind of runoff mistakes. Doing very dangerous passes because it could be end of the race for the drivers, and we're going into green right now.
Yeah, so it is going to be Matt Legale who is going to lead us round once again and take us through the start, Lorenzo, because I tried to go back to TeamSpeak in order to see where you were and can't get back into the game.
So basically now Matt Legale is basically in the lead of this race thus far. But he's not actually in the lead. The lead is Charles Bacho, looking from my perspective. Tobias Reuters in second, but Tobias is having trouble with traffic. We have nearly a caution on turn 2. Charles Bacho is being overtaken by some people in the field, but driving safely thus far. Laterally Ferry goes by. Joe Nelson goes by. So far we complete lap 43 of 150. And Charles Bacho is still in the lead. Tobias Reuters in second. Dan Long is in third place, trying to chase Tobias Reuter. And Tobias now just reaching to Charles Bacho. Third place is Steve Legale. Fifth is Campbell Wallace. Sixth is Sharon Vandersloot. Christian Burrows is seventh. Matt Legale. Eighth. Joe Nelson is in ninth. Ali Ferry is your top 10. But so far, the first few laps have been very clean, but we have been quite damaged by yellow flags. And we have another one. We have Dan Long. Dan Long on turn 3, and we might have another yellow out, but Dan Long is taking out hard, having probably a suspension damage, has rear wing damage on his car. Let's see if the MK driver will eventually be able to make it. No, he's struggling really hard. It's a matter to see if the yellow flag will come out. But if Dan is a very mindful driver on his own, he's probably going to be on the apron, on the inside part of this track, and probably not push the car too much. But so far in the front, Tobias Reuter now in the lead of this race, overtaking Charles Bacho on turn 2. Charles now with the 1 second gap, and yes, we're gonna have yet another yellow flag. We see that we are not having luck with drivers under the green flag.
Yeah, now not even 50 laps into this race, and we've already had 6 yellows. Is this now, I believe?
Yeah, and we're probably gonna do a bingo. Let's see how many yellow flags we're gonna have at the end of the race. I don't like doing this, but let's call it a bingo. Let's see if you can get it right. You get a hug from me and probably one beer from my fridge.
They're going to have to travel to Brazil to do that. Please do note in the T's and C's.
I'll post the shipping.
Just put them in a crate.
Yeah, but Dan Long now in the pits repairing his car. And the other drivers now are basically placing their laps into this race. Stop and go penalty removed from Matt Legale. Mostly likely because the yellow flag in this game has proven to become somewhat problematic. It was something that was tested and now has probably put a damp on race control, and an expected damp, but it is part of somewhat the marvelous world of sim racing has us dialed down for kind of shenanigans of the most improbable predictions.
Yeah, it does at least make it slightly different in a way, though, because the number of cautions, I mean, some drivers might even be able to do a one-stop at this rate. We're talking about two-stop, but possibly even a one-stop here this afternoon.
Yeah, I think this has become somewhat of a F1 race as Matt Legale and Tobias Reuner and Charles Baccio are going to the pits. Steve Legale remains on track with Kempa Wallace, Shower van der Sloot, and Christian Moreau. Also, John Nelson also remains as well. So let's see what Matt Legale is going to do. Tobias Reuner just refueling his car. But still long race to go. We're nearly the 1/3 mark of this race. Yes, 1/3 mark of this race here at Lausitzring. And now raising a little bit of concern. We still have Indianapolis as the last race. Everybody knows Indianapolis. Do you think we're gonna get the same thing on Indianapolis?
Well, unless drivers are sincerely talked to and told to be very, very, very cautious on the restart, I should think we're going to have possibly a similar situation here, as I continue to struggle to get into the game, unfortunately.
And apparently Matt Legale is coming in once again.
So it looks like Matt Legale does have a drive-through penalty at the moment. Lorenzo's gone to see if he can get that confirmed.
And we're back. Apparently Peter has some problems with TeamSpeak. He's due to rejoin. I apologize. I had to do race control stuff. If you guys don't know, I am part of one of the people in race control for this league. So that's why I was leaving back and forth, giving information. And we're gonna have yellow flag clear on the next standby. By the way, my name is Lorenzo Bonder. Peter Lee is with me on the commentary booth. He's due to rejoin at any given point really shortly. In first place thus far is Matt Legale. Is in first place, and Tobias Reuner is apparently in second place. Charles Baccio is right behind him, and quite interesting development, I believe, that is happening. And it's a little bit of a confusion here on the track itself, as Tobias and Charles are the ones in the apron. I'm getting more information from really shortly. But let's see if something is happening to both talking door drivers. And Now the field is being set up against one another. The pace car will remain on track for this lap. I think the talking door guys could be playing a key, a safe role of rejoining the track, being on the apron. Oh, they're letting Dan Long go by. They were waiting for Dan Long. They're far in the back. And Matt Legale is still in the lead, and he has a lap over everyone, and it's really interesting to see what is going down. Apparently, Kimball Wallace has a penalty, and race control will have to take a look on that. As Peter Lee rejoins the broadcast really shortly. Just give us 3 seconds. Welcome back, Peter. Time for you to retake. We're gonna over green really shortly.
Right, I'm afraid I might have to go.
Oh.
Okay. I hope that's okay. I know it's very
abrupt, but it happens.
Yeah, I didn't expect the race to take so long, if I'm honest.
Me neither. Just take over really quickly. Just say your farewells, and I'll be right back.
All right, thank you very much. So I do apologize, ladies and gentlemen.
Green flag has gone by. Matt Legale is still in the lead, but he's far back from everyone. Still with a lap down. I'm still curious to see what happened to Matt Legale being a lap ahead of everyone. Why he completed the lap. But if not, what I'm probably going to do is, I don't know. That is very confusing. As second place is Campbell Wallace. Joe Nelson is in third. Sharon van der Sloot is in fourth. Maxime Legale is in fifth. Campbell Wallace and John Nelson now in the second place battle, overtaking each other, and as now Peter has gone by, and let's see the states of this race. How is it going to go down? For those who are actually watching the broadcast, we had a yellow flag now with Matt Legale, he was involved in a crash with the other drivers in between turn 2. And it's basically a very wild race of sorts. Let's see if I can bring Daniel Trapp, who's one part of the race control, to explain what is happening on the situation. So Daniel Trapp now in the room here with me for the broadcast. Really quickly, just explain to me what happened in the status of Matt Legale being one lap ahead and now this crash. What do you think from the race thus far?
Do you want me to be honest? It's a bit messy, and I don't think drivers and admins are prepared enough. And
yeah, this race has basically taken over us by surprise by over a whole race that was actually unprepared. We are caught by surprise of the track itself, the nature of the track, the racing itself. As this completely took us over by surprise, as we still have a little bit more than 1/3 of the race complete, and basically we haven't had a good gap with green flag on.
Yeah, we had close to no green flag racing. And every yellow is a bit of a mess.
So yeah, so in behalf of this race, this has basically caught everyone by surprise. We're gonna continue the race, but for now, try to continue with this race. But for now, we're gonna bid our farewells.
I would cancel the double points on this.
Yeah, we're gonna the race control and admins will take a look and see what happens for next round and this round itself. But for now, my name is Lorenzo Bonder, and we say goodbye.